Hola amigos, bien o no, y saludos desde Medellín. Hoy el tema es para tomar todas las oportunidades que nosotros tenemos en nuestro día a día para decir un poco más en cada conversación, para utilizar estas oportunidades para amplificar nuestro vocabulario, practicar más oraciones útiles y también mejorar nuestra fluidez. So ese es el tema de hoy. So, hello everyone, here we are, Medellin, have a lovely evening. We have a rather tremendous storm on the way behind us, but hopefully that's a little way out. So the theme of today, how to use our general day-to-day tasks, things we're doing outside, running errands, things like that, how to make the most use of those and the very short conversations we have while doing those things to help us improve our fluency, our confidence in speaking, our listening, making better connections with other people, and generally practicing our vocabulary in a good and practical way. So let's give you an example of what I mean. So I had to run some errands today. Now this included a trip on the metro, and eventually then I had to run some stuff at the supermarket. So rather than just get on the train, because in fairness I do know where I'm going, it's to just ask a question of the good people that work there and say, look, how many stops is it to where I'm trying to go to? Could you tell me? So you get to practice that nice short sentence, which is useful, and then you get to listen for the answer, so you get to practice that. So something like, I'm sorry, excuse me, could you tell me how many stops is it to Industriales? And what line do I need to take to get there, please? And which way is that? How long will it take me to get there? Any one of those questions works really well. Then you get to practice the answer, and then you can practice your normal courtesy of, thank you, that's fine, thank you for your help, you've been very helpful, thank you, I appreciate it, have a good day, take care, bye-bye. And again, I go to the supermarket, all right, I have things on my list. I can ask for, hello, look, I'm looking for this particular brand of coffee, I don't see it on the shelf, do you keep this, do you stock this? Wait for the answer, again, thank them for the help. And then when you're looking to pay, nowadays it's all about, do you need a plastic bag or not? So you can say, no, it's okay, look, I brought my own bag, thank you very much. So again, you have something else to say. Maybe it's more questions about, do you collect the points, or things like that. Now this may sound very trivial, because yeah, but that's not a big conversation, but it gets you in practice of using the language, because if we're not careful, we can get to a point where we're practicing for when we go to the airport, we're practicing for when we go on holiday, we're practicing for that job interview we've got coming up, but the rest of the time, we're not talking at all. And so when we suddenly get, someone stops us in the street and asks us for directions because they're lost, and we're living here, and it's like, well, could you help me with that? You're like, no, because I'm not used to speaking, I'm out of practice. Whereas if you practice at least something every day, and you know when you go outside, your task is to ask at least one question, say something nice to someone, offer some kind of civility, you're more prepared, because you're now thinking that you're going to be speaking in the language, so you're more prepared to use it. And if you can get that as a habit, so everywhere you go, you're not just asking very basic, like yes, no kind of answers, you're asking a more detailed question, ask something else. If you're at the restaurant or the coffee shop, when you ask what you're asking for, ask the waiter or the waitress something else about the food. Is this the house special? What would you recommend? Try and push that conversation to get at least something back, another sentence you can listen to. Try and make more connection with people. Try and find out their names if they help you. That's a really good one to practice, because that will help you make quicker connection. And then next time you go back, you know who that person is, so you can say hello again. It's small things like that. It looks really trivial, but I promise you this gets you in a good practice of speaking a lot more, and that will help you fight against your general sense of, yeah, but I don't really want to talk unless I have to, and I'm going to make a mistake and I'm going to sound silly, and you need to try and break through that. And one of the easiest ways to do it is to just know you've only got to ask one question, or you've only got to add one extra thing into that conversation. You don't have to start to have like long conversations, because in these type of situations, you're just buying a metro ticket, or you're at the supermarket, or maybe you're just traveling a short distance in a taxi or something. You don't have a lot of time to hold a big conversation. But if you add a bit more than just general good morning or thank you, if you add something else into that, add an extra sentence, an extra question, that day by day practice you're going to get, not just in the listening, which is great, but also in pushing you to develop a habit of when you meet people, the first thing you do is talk to them. And if you get the habit of doing that, you will break that reserve, which is like, I don't know if I can speak, I'm going to make mistakes. You can break that timidity, you get straight into the conversation. And then once you've started, obviously then the other person is going to help you because they're talking to you, and then it's a bit like tennis, they pass the ball to you, you play it back. So have a go. I promise you, no matter how boring you think your day-to-day tasks are when you're outside, there is at least one other question or something else you can say nice to the other person, which will elicit a response, and that will get you the practice. So have a go with that. Déjame saber en los comentarios how you get on. But for now, from Medellin, before our storm arrives, I'll say cheerio.